Oh, we didn't even record yet, but good morning, everyone. Literally just got up. Today is January 9th, 2024. I have my good days, my bad days since I lost my father. The one thing I am struggling with, and I mentioned in the other video, is the administering of the medication. And it's been happening, those feelings. Because the medical field left us in the dark, no solid diagnosis, no solid, real answer, that this man has cancer or this man is dying. Like, nobody told us that. It's not like the movies. You know what I mean? Nobody said that this person is dying. Nobody gave us that concrete. And because of that, I'm driving myself crazy, wondering if I killed my dad. Now, we went out the other day with some friends, and we spoke about it for the first time with other people that wasn't family, and they were livid to hear what we went through. And they're like, you better get justice for this, because it almost like I was living in a movie, except for the ending part where they don't tell you that the man is dying, So after we got out of the restaurant, I decided to read the pamphlet that I picked up on Sunday before my dad came home on Monday. The pamphlet that they left for his care plan, because I had called them on the Thursday before his discharge on Monday, and I actually got loud. Usually I give people the benefit of the doubt. I did not. I said, if you do not start getting your shit together, I said there's going to be consequences. And I had to threaten the medical people. I had to threaten the rehab center. Why should I have to threaten people to get something done? Something that should have been scheduled way before. I don't want to threaten people. That's a lot of energy to be putting in, and that's not the way of life. You don't be threatening people to demand things, So I finally decided to read that pamphlet, and with the long lineup of lists of issues, it also said non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And I'm like, really? Non-Hodgkin lymphoma he has on top of everything else, and nobody told us. Everybody was poking and prodding my father, looking for cancer in the VA, outside of the VA before he went in. They poked him so many times in the VA looking for cancer because he had inflamed lymph nodes. And then they even did another biopsy outside of the VA in Chilton Hospital, in the hospital that he ended up in. So why did nobody tell us this? And how true was that? So there's a lot of unanswered questions. The medical field was very indirect with us. And now there's going to be us having to take action. It's going to be a long process. Because I hold the guilt like I killed my dad. I do. I don't know, when he was discharged from the hospital, his filtration rate for his kidneys was like a 10. I don't know what it was when he left, because that was 10 days later. He was in the rehab for that long, doing his COVID isolation. So I don't know where he was at with his expelling of urine. But the things that I saw in that rehab, your loved ones are not safe in a rehab. You're not safe in a rehab. Like, the things that I saw in that rehab, I'm just like, why would anybody put their parent here? I never wanted my father to go to a rehab center or like rehab/nursing home. They're so understaffed, you might as well just keep your loved ones home. It's not a daycare for adults. It's not a daycare for elderly people. It's like a prison. My father's personality, he's very passive. You know, he didn't belong somewhere there. People were very, like, pushy and mean. So there's just so many unanswered questions. And like I said, I have my good days, my bad days. Some days I'm angry and upset. Some days I feel, oh, he's not suffering anymore. But part of me is like, why did it happen so soon? And that's where I hold the guilt. Did I do this? Did I kill my dad? 16 hours of being home, administering him the morphine, the Ativan, the fentanyl patch, and then boom, 16 hours later, he's gone. Was that like overdosing my father? I allowed these nurses, these hospice nurses, to put the patch on and to do this and to do that. Hospice nurse tells me maybe a week he has. So there's still a lot of things that I find very hard to believe. You have a man of that weight, and then you put a fentanyl patch, you give him morphine. I understand they're toddler doses, but it still doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't. But again, I'm someone that's against giving medication like that. I don't know if he was in pain. Only he had localized pain in his leg. He was in pain in his leg. He had pain the night before in his chest. He was having a hard time breathing. And he had that rattle, that secretion. Can't clear it out. I'm still having a hard time processing this. If anybody has any input or anything, be greatly appreciated. Or a lawyer. Definitely need a lawyer.